Absolutist with free speech. And I know the fucking line. It's a private company. They can do what they want. Freedom of speech is about the government and this and that. It's like, yeah, but are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Are you okay with a faceless corporation deciding what you can watch and see and hear and who can speak based on nothing but this arbitrary ideology that comes out of a building? Like, I don't like that. I want anyone to have the ability to speak about anything they want, no matter how repugnant it is. Like meet it with a lively debate.
Well, here's a perfect example. Forget Alex Jones. Let's talk about what we talked about earlier. Laura Loomer versus Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Where's your consistency? You got to explain to me how that works.
How does that work?
How is it okay for the guy on Twitter to be calling Jewish people termites? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's something you exterminate.
Yeah.
This is Nazi Germany type talk.
Yeah.
Twitter has, I tweeted this out last night. I got 35,000 retweets. Twitter has no idea the Pandora's box they opened. None. So Twitter, who banned us from running ads about, 3 years ago, I guess, never gave us a reason why, because it's run by primarily liberal hacks who can't stand you. Twitter, they're going to feel the pain and the wrath of the free market soon, I assure you. This can't go on forever. The mainstream media tried this for years. And then we had Fox News come along. And I will never, ever forget being an instructor at the Secret Service Academy, and the late Roger Ailes, who used to run Fox News, came and gave a speech at the Secret Service Academy. One of the agents' families knew him. This is in the early days of Fox. And he said something I'll never forget. Someone in the audience or someone asked him about, Fox News and how he thought of this idea of doing a news station that actually did, Joe, get ready, news and not like liberal nonsense. And he said, yeah, I just figured there was this untapped market in America called 51% of the population. I thought, it's the greatest line ever.
Well, the Bill of Rights is a stumbling block on the way to shutting down speech that the left doesn't like, at least in government. But there's a new avenue for those who would like to censor what you say and think, and that's corporations. The left have wised up to this. If you want to stop someone from telling the truth, use companies to do it, the social media giants, and they are. So far, the most prominent casualty of the crusade against free expression has been the radio show host Alex Jones. But are we smart to think censorship will stop with him? Mark Penn is a former advisor to Bill Clinton. He is a liberal who still believes in the free exchange of ideas, and he joins us tonight. So thank you, Mark, for coming on. So I'm fascinated by the Alex Jones story because it was Alex Jones. Almost no conservatives rose to his defense because the idea was, well, Alex Jones, ew, yuck. But it's not really about Alex Jones, is it? It's about the idea that companies can make it impossible for your voice to be heard. Is that a precedent we should be comfortable with?
Well, I really think you have to be worried about big tech becoming Big Brother.
Yes.
Because these used to be neutral platforms that said, we're open to free expression, that's our core value. And now they've said, well, not so much, with particularly Facebook hiring 10,000 new censors on top of another 10,000.
Another conservative is being thrown into Twitter prison. Candace Owens, an African-American Trump advocate with over 2 million followers, was booted off her account over the weekend for tweeting that Michigan residents should disobey Governor Gretchen Whitmer's authoritarian lockdown orders that prompted a lawsuit yesterday filed by her own state's legislature, claiming her Thursday extension violates Michigan law. She wrote, quote, "Apparently Governor Whitmer believes she is a duly elected dictator of a socialist country. The people of Michigan need to stand up to her. Open your businesses. Go to work. The police think she's crazy too. They are not going to arrest 10 million people for going to work." Owens is the founder of the Blexit movement, designed to help minority voters, especially blacks, exit from the Democratic Party and influence the upcoming presidential election. Michiganders have shown their displeasure in the past by holding protests on 2 separate occasions. The first was held in April. Thousands gathered outside the state capitol demanding Whitmer loosen public restrictions. The second protest, last Friday, made its way inside the Capitol building, where chants saying, "Let us in," echoed through the halls.
After a long recovery and retiring from the military and giving 3 limbs to this country, he started the Facebook page Right Wing News, which grew to over 3 million followers. but was shut down by Facebook last week. He spent over $300,000 on ads on Facebook promoting his page and his other page for his company, the Military Grade Coffee Company, which was also shut down. If I have to roll into their headquarters and sit there with people in the media, I will, he said. I will be there exposing everything they've done to me and my family and our employees. We are going to take legal action if we don't get our pages back. It's just going to turn into a sloppy mess for them. I think they've underestimated what they're dealing with. Attacking me, attacking conservatives in general, right before the elections. Never once did Facebook come to us, he said, and say that there was any issue with right-wing news or our other pages. Never. But they sure loved taking our money. Facebook completely ruined this triple amputee United States veterans online business, which was hugely successful because it was successful. The liberal media industrial complex hates the fact that people are able to use a laptop in their kitchen and reach more people than CNN and MSNBC or the New York Times and the Washington. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, looks like House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy is demanding that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey publicly testify on Capitol Hill about shadow banning conservatives. I tried to warn you, Jack. As I'm sure you heard 2 weeks ago, dozens of Republican members of Congress learned that they were shadow banned after Congressman Matt Gaetz tipped them off about it, after he was tipped off by Andrew Torba, the founder and CEO of Gab. And then a few days later, President Trump started tweeting about the shadow banning, and then finally, Twitter said, oh, well, it's just a glitch. It was just a big mistake. As you probably know, my account was one of those completely shadow banned from the search, as were most of the prominent pro-Trump social media personalities. And in the blog post, it said, well, they're not shadow banning, but they are suppressing accounts that engage in divisive behavior. So I responded to Jack Dorsey's post and asked, why were the accounts, mine included, shadow banned? What specific instances caused this? What are the specific limitations placed on those accounts? How long will the penalties be upheld? When or do they expire or reset? What's the appeal process to dispute the punishment? I don't want to say I've been trolling Jack Dorsey for years, because it's not trolling. I'm asking him legitimate questions, and he surprisingly responded with this incredibly lengthy tweet that says, Mark, please read the blog post. I responded, Jack, I read the blog. Nothing in there about accounts getting notified if they're labeled a bad actor. Nothing about the limiting features expiring over time if their behavior improves. There's no metric showing what extent specifically a user's account has been limited, etc., etc.
From Twitter as Silicon Valley zaps conservative 2020 influencers. This is by Tyler Durden on Zero Hedge. Outspoken conservative actor James Woods has been banned from Twitter for more than a week after he tweeted, quote, if you try to kill the king, you best not miss, end quote. Hashtag hang them all, end quote. An apparent reference to the Mueller report. Woods' girlfriend, Sarah Miller, tweeted a screenshot of Twitter's account suspension, which cites targeted harassment as the reason. And this is...
Well, a handful of tech companies increasingly dominate the daily lives of Americans. What could go wrong? Whether you're shopping, socializing, working, or learning, odds are you'll be spending an awful lot of time using Amazon, Facebook, Google, and a couple of others. Can we count on the goodwill of these companies? That's a rhetorical question. Dennis Prager operates Prager University, which creates videos online to educate people. He's recently sued Google and its subsidiary YouTube. He says they've deliberately restricted his videos so they have less reach and are ineligible for ad revenue. Dennis Prager joins us tonight. Dennis, that's a heavy-duty charge. Clearly, I don't think you would have filed a lawsuit without evidence to support it. Tell us what you know, why they did this to you.
They have placed on their restricted list. That means that it can't be viewed in libraries, in schools, or any home that filters out pornography, for example. Cannot be seen in any of those places. Our videos are as innocent as exists on the internet. 4 Pulitzer Prize winners, professors from Stanford, MIT, Harvard, Yale, I mean, it is about as normative and conservative, but we don't only have conservatives. Alan Dershowitz has given a number of videos, and by the way, his video was placed on the restricted list as well. When you understand which ones, for example, I gave a video, and I only give 15% of the 260 or so videos that are there. And they're all 5 minutes long. We have 500 million views this year, so it's rather large. This is a big deal, this suit. And I have a video, for example, on the 10 Commandments. So I have one 5-minute video per commandment. The one that I have on thou shalt not murder, how's that? That has been placed on the restricted list. We have a video, America Must Lead. So do liberals have a video, America Must Lead, but our America Must Lead, and I believe it was given by Brett Stephens, not exactly a flaming conservative, even that was placed on the restricted list. It's all entirely due to our content and being conservative. And they need to be called on this.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. What you've said, and I believe you because I know you and I know that you're a religious and moral man, and you're smart. So you bring this argument to them, to Google and its subsidiary YouTube, and you say, why are you doing this to me?
Right.
What was their response?
Inappropriate for children.
Well, but did they give examples?
There is no answer. No, that's it. They have a stock phrase, but we actually finally got it from a human, not from some automatic response. And they still said inappropriate, but we still don't understand why. We have Victor Davis Hanson, whom I'm sure you know. He's a wonderful human being. Yes. He gives a 5-minute course on the history of the Korean War. That if America looks good, censored is probably an appropriate word. It's restricted. If Israel looks good, it's restricted. It's almost predictable what they would restrict. And the point is this, that they should say, look, we are liberal or left-wing organizations. We don't want to give a forum for others. Yeah. And then I have no issue.
Well,
but they say that they are a public forum
over our information.
And that's not honest.
Dennis, please tell us what happens with the suit. Thank you for that.